Aubrey and I have a lot of projects going on at any given time. Fixing cars, buying cars, racing cars, maintaining cars. And as much as we try to incorporate our life into all of our videos and make it a clean, simple video, it's kind of hard to do that because we just have so many things being juggled at one time. But with that being said, we did some major repairs on our Escape, we lost another vehicle, and we bought another vehicle. So let's bring it up to speed. Behind me is our 2008 Ford Escape, and it's not the oldest car in our Turo fleet, however, it is the highest mileage. 264,336 driver door jar. Now that is a lot of mileage, and a lot of people use this SUV to do SUV things and traveling. This car goes everywhere. Now recently, when doing our 5,000 mile oil change and inspection on this vehicle, we found that all four tires did have a bit of weird wear on them. And it wasn't really any wear related to so much of the steering, but of the suspension. A lot of the outside had a bunch of scalloping, and the inside, the center was a little bit wavy. Now I already had the tires replaced because I didn't like the wear on them, and I might as well just put new tires on it and figure out what's causing all that waviness. Now looking at the vehicle, it doesn't look too different until you recognize that this front side is a little lower than the passenger side, which is pretty much an indication that this strut on this side is starting to collapse. This is generally how you do a suspension test. Kind of a bit of bouncy. Not bad. Let's check the back. Not terrible. So we at least know the suspension isn't completely blown, even though it is sagging a little bit. Let's see how it drives. Got our summer hire Rowan with us. We're gonna go ahead and take it over some pretty steep bumps. Yeah, I mean, not the most luxury Cadillac ride. It is a smaller SUV, but it doesn't feel the most comfortable. What about just regular driving? So riding around on regular concrete streets, it seems like the car is doing pretty well. It's not dangerous, it's not veering to the left or to the right or anything, but I'm not gonna lie, this is not the most comfortable vehicle. And if I were to be driving cross country in this thing, I'd probably say it could use a little bit of TLC. I was kind of concerned about the quick jacks not working for like the Escape because it's pretty tall, but using the bigger blocks, it works. All right, in this massive box should be two front struts that are complete, so I don't have to take anything apart. Should just be able to drop this one out, swap the new one in, and two new rear shocks as well. It's always good to replace your suspension in pairs because you don't want to interrupt the balance of things. If you put something really nice on the left side, the right side could still be clapped out, old, or just not as good as your front one, and then you end up having uneven wear or the car just acts weird. And we're going to replace all four corners of the suspension on this thing because we want to make sure that this thing rides like a dream for the next 265,000 miles. Looking at the old suspension, it doesn't look damaged or anything. They are the factory Fomoco Tokiko struts. They're not leaking, nothing's really damaged on it, but I think over time these really just start leaking out a little bit of fluid or don't hold as much pressure in this gas piston, so they're ready to go. Excuse me. So now with the car back to the lot, all the suspension is complete, we got it aligned, and now it is set to go out on its next trip. So the benefit of doing new suspension is that our tires will no longer wear out as unevenly as they were previously, and guests will just have a way better ride, especially when they're loading people on the back. I mean, look at this thing. We got all the new strut on the inside, looking all nice and shiny, and even the new shocks are black, but they still kind of pop. Now, unless a guest runs over something, smacks in a giant Dukes of Hazzards jump, I think the suspension should last for at least another 264,000 miles. This morning I went bright and early at 5:30 a.m. to turn a vehicle that was going out at 6:30 a.m. for an early morning booking, and I was greeted with a really bad sight. This, and you can tell it's broken by the way that it is. This sucks. But let's take this back to the house so we can go over all the damage. Now, Aubrey and I always say that there's an improvement curse. Once you get a car running and you invest a lot of money in it, something happens, and this is the case.
Ew, what is this?
It's gook or something. In the last 6 months, we've had the evaporator core, which is a very difficult repair behind the dash fixed to fix our AC that was leaking. We also fixed a bunch of power steering issues, like power steering lines and the pump itself, like 3 different times because it kept leaking. And now that the car is in tip-top mechanical shape, it gets wrecked. Now, it is really frustrating because the guest dropped this vehicle off at 11:30 last night and didn't say anything about this vehicle. So I was expecting to be able to come out, wipe down some windows, vacuum the interior out, and get this car out, and now we really can't. So a lot of the damage is reserved to the hood and everything behind it. So we're talking radiator core support, we're talking the radiator, the condenser for the AC system, and truthfully, I can't even get this hood open to investigate all the damage because it's jammed shut. But I'm still gonna try. I'm latching, it's making noise. Hey, can you pop the hood?
It's like stuck. It's...
Yeah, it's jammed permanently. I don't even think Superman can get that open if I put the pythons on it and it still won't open. Not only the front bumper and the front hood, but this front fender has been jammed, pushed back, and it looks like it did offset the door just a little bit. Now, I know this looks pretty bad, but it seems the impact has knocked off all the paint. Nah, just kidding. Unfortunately, that was like that. Now, we actually had an appointment to get not only this fender and this door, but the whole car repainted, and we're gonna make a nice video about it, and now we can't, because it's broken. Now, we think this is totaled, but ultimately, we're not gonna know until Turo decides whether or not they wanna take it forever or give it back to us and write us a check for the damage. Bright and early, we've got this van going out, we've got a few of these cars going out, but one in particular that's leaving us and is never coming back. We just got word that our blue Ford Focus is totaled. Now, originally Turo reached out and said, nah, we'll send you an estimate, but I guess it went upon some further review after diving a little deep of all the damage that was done to this car, and they said, we're gonna send a truck to come pick it up to take it to our total claims loss department, IAA. It's little things, it's like this being pushed in just enough because of this headlight. The fender also getting pushed up right here, binding. The bumper's a complete loss, now that these brackets are all ripped up and torn up. Even this door getting damaged right here where this fender bashed up against it. Now, if you don't know, tow trucks kind of come on their own time, so I did bring both the keys, the original key and the spare key. We're gonna throw it in the car so that way when the tow truck comes, they can just pick it up and haul it off forever. Who can say where the road goes? Something. I forgot our tracker. So 2 weeks after this car was wrecked, we ended up getting the total loss figures, and it's as follows. So we paid $5,000 for this Ford Focus back in 2023. Now, we owned it for a little over a year, and we ended up getting paid out $5,600. Not bad considering we're able to replace it for $4,500. So the Escape is fixed and our Focus is gone. RIP the blue Focus. We'll miss you. And I know we said we got a new car, and we did. In fact, it's right here. But we're actually gonna save that for next week's video. But for now, I've gotta get this Lincoln ready for a rental. As always, guys, be sure to hit the like button, hit that subscribe. Please, hit that notification bell, and we'll see you in the next episode.